Hello guys, it's the Sun Gaming and today I'm reacting to Students Executed for Failing Exam by Dhar Mann Studios. Wait, what? Huh. That's definitely interesting. Anyways, let's begin.
What's going on? I didn't fail the test!
Neil.
Wow, we're introducing a whole war? 6 years after a great 21st century war, the devastation to the planet found its resources depleted. I'm sorry, what? Like, you're telling me the resources of the entire planet depleted. What the what? You know what? Fine by me. Let's see.
Hey, let her go!
A twofold effort to control both the quality and quantity of the population was proposed. What? Why?
Hey!
Stop, Carson!
Kelly!
Silence! Unless you want to join them.
Okay. Okay, I need to get a break.
Kelly!
Okay, that's a little better. Not the best, but hey, when you're dealing with video, how good of a frame can you get that easily? Okay, so you know that the idea is so outlandish that Dhar Mann would need to explain a whole I don't know if I could call it festive context, but like a whole thing of context, I guess, where he has to explain all that just to tell us how we got here. Anyway.
I still can't fathom that this is our new reality. Nevertheless, it is essential that you focus. It's my responsibility to teach you, but I did not sign up for this job to get blood on my hands. I wish I could take the test for you, but I can't. I can only prepare you for it to the best of my ability. My life is at stake if I don't follow the parameters laid out by the state to the letter. Do you understand? I know you're concerned.
Concerned? That's a bit of an understatement, isn't it, Mr. Wilson? Well, maybe Carson's just concerned that you can afford to be.
But even the governor's son here isn't immune to the mandate. The governor stated himself, scores are based by merit and merit alone. Carson, if you keep up your current performance, you should stay alive.
What about me?
Maya, you'll be fine. You're the smartest student in this class.
That's a bit insulting.
I know you're...
Okay. Man, like, what? You're telling me that if they fail the exams, they'll be executed? Oh boy. Yeah, this is definitely going somewhere. Like, this is the first time where Dhar Mann actually does pretty interesting plots. Like, you know this is interesting when I almost didn't say the name of the channel because of how surprised I was. Like, really? Executed? Like, do you really have to go so far as to execute the new generation? Okay. Well, anyway.
scared. I'm scared too. But I believe in you, and I will do everything I can to help you. And maybe, just maybe, if we work hard enough, you can change this.
Okay, I have a certain question here. When it says pass the tests, does it just mean getting more than an F and just barely passing? Or do you have to be a straight A student? Because that changes up the equation a lot. Because if all you have to do to not get executed is to just, okay, why do I keep forgetting? Is to just do enough that you don't fail? Then I'll say that's pretty easy. That wouldn't change things that much. But if it means being a straight A student, oh boy, that's a different equation entirely then. Like for that, I would want to ask, what would count as failing exactly? Like, do the same expectations still apply? Do the same, grading system still apply? Do they still apply or not? Because if they still apply, then how many students would really be executed? Like, it's not like there are that many people who actually fail exams full time. Like, and first and second of all, is it any exam or is it the final exam? Because, like, if a model exam or a pop quiz makes them die, that's a totally different thing than the final exam. Like, you see how many variables there are for just explaining how the system works? Anyways, let's continue.
But it's too late, isn't it?
It's never too late to change if it's the right thing to do. But we have to help each other. So you might want to wake up your girlfriend and remind her how serious this is.
Babe.
Okay.
And, like, I have a certain question. What does the world's resources being depleted have to do with students being executed for failing? Like, genuinely, what does that have to do with anything? Like, I feel like Dhar Mann introduced something that's way too... I don't know what I would call it exactly, but, like, it's done in a way where I have a lot more questions are out of the whole students being executed. Like, for example, if the world's resources are depleted, then they have far more things to worry about than failing students, that's for sure. Like, for this one, we'll kind of have to think about what would count as a resource. Is it farms? Are farms resources? Because if they're depleted, oh boy, failing students would be the last thing I would think about. Like, do you see how Dhar Mann went for something that's way too drastic for something like this to be the main thing? Like, you're telling me, when the world's resources depleted, all they could do, the only thing that was on their mind was to just execute the students who failed the exams? What about dealing with the resources? What is that gonna change? Genuinely, what is that gonna change? Like, the only thing that can fit is that they're trying to do natural selection but remove the natural part, basically. I think that's what they're trying to do here. Take natural selection, remove the natural part, and basically make it artificial selection, huh? But, like, genuinely think about it. If the world's resources are depleted, these people have much more to worry about than simply failing students. What about food shortages? What about that? Like, how haven't food shortages come up once? Because guess what? Executing a couple of students will not change a thing. Like there aren't that many failing students for that to make a difference. You're essentially just taking away lives for nothing. Because unless the amount of failing students is in the millions, unless that's the case, this rule will not change a thing unless the only thing that they will do is hurt families emotionally and put a lot more pressure on both students and teachers. It's basically a lose-lose situation. Again, like, unless the failing students are a big enough of a group, that rule changes nothing. Genuinely nothing. Anyways, let's continue.
Let's get started. We got a lot of work to do.
So if a term contains only one number, right, it's called a constant term, right? Or you could just call it a constant. But polynomials are different, right? They're... Hey, Kelly, come on. Math is your best subject.
So tired. I've been studying nonstop. I'm so freaked out by this.
Hey, listen, you know this stuff, okay? You just get a little nervous during the test sometimes, right?
Yeah, and knowing if I mess up this next one, I'll die doesn't exactly put my mind...
Come on, babe.
Again, you haven't answered my question. When we're talking about failing exams, is it just any exam or is it the final? Because that changes things up quite a bit. Because if I hear that if the teacher gives me a pop quiz or something and I feel that I'm dying, that makes me a lot more concerned than just if I fail the final exam I'll die. That makes me a lot more concerned okay, why do I keep forgetting important words? Like, anyways, like, why do I keep forgetting words? Anyways, let's just continue.
I don't want to die, Carson.
You're not going to, okay? Hey, guys. It's like Mr. Wilson says. We all have the power in our mind to survive. Okay, we just gotta work hard and learn. We'll be okay. I'm gonna help you. Right?
Do you really think Mr. Wilson's gonna let anything happen to us?
It's not up to him. Have you talked to your dad?
You know how he is. Gosh, I wish I could change his mind.
I've been emailing Brooke Masterson.
The Brooke Masterson? The news reporter? Oh, man. My dad hates her.
As crazy as everything's gotten, at least there are still some people trying to do the right thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. What will your dad do? Even if he's the governor, how much of a position is that really? Because I have to ask, is the whole executing students for failing exams thing, is it a country thing or is it a state thing? Because that changes things up quite a bit on who's in power here. Because if it's a country thing, that's up to Congress and the president. If it's up to a certain state, maybe the governor could help, or like, isn't it supposed to be a mayor? You know what? What do I know? Anyways, let's continue.
Brooke says... She says there's going to be a revolution.
She said that in an email?
It was coded, but I got what she meant.
Oh, okay, a special code for journalists.
Brooke says that once the truth gets out, everything's gonna change.
Wait, the truth? What truth?
Hey, man.
Hey, sup? Hi, guys. Maya. Can I talk to you for a second? Over there.
Yeah, sure. I'll be right back.
Hey, Carson.
Hey?
So tell me something, Carson. When are you gonna ditch that sleepyhead over there and wake up and see that you and I are a dream just waiting for it to happen?
Sounds more like a nightmare to me.
Shut up, nerd. There's a party happening next Saturday. You should come, Carson. Just Carson.
I just don't think the rest of them can afford it.
I don't want to say anything mean, but you two should really be studying instead of making plans for the weekend.
We're gonna be fine.
Yeah. And once Kelly's gone, maybe you and I can work on making the dream come true. What do you say?
Is she trying to get him to be her boyfriend or doing the opposite? Because if she's doing the opposite, she is doing a hell of a good job for doing the opposite. Like, if you want him to pick up with her, you don't want to make it direct. Like, you maybe want to try to convince him that you're better, but not directly. Because if you're putting her down, you're essentially putting down a person that he loves. So yeah, maybe not the best outcome. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. She's doing so bad at this, to the point that if you told me that she was doing the opposite, that she doesn't want him to be with her, she's doing a hell of a good job at that. Anyways, let's continue.
You make me sick. That's what I say. So don't ever say anything mean about Kelly again.
Okay. I can't say that I don't like the temper a little. If you change your mind about the party, I'll see you there. Let's go.
Don't listen to them. Okay? Everything's gonna be all right.
As headmaster of the school, do you struggle with the obvious moral implications of this recently passed law?
Well, I imagine no more than you struggle with the moral implications of your implicit bias on the matter.
I'm sorry, but Do you not see a problem with children being executed at your school?
Turn it off.
If they are failing to meet the state's curriculum, then actually this law serves our society by saving resources for the cream of the crop.
But what about the rumors of the test being biased toward the wealthy?
I said turn it off.
I was watching that. That's my headmaster, Dad.
Oh, I know full and well who that is.
How do you not see what is wrong with this? I don't understand. You can do something.
We discussed this time and time again, son. And our civilization is at a crossroads. There's only a few resources left. And we need the best minds populating the gene pool moving forward.
So much wrong with this. Like, that governor has to be the dumbest person I have ever seen. First of all, the people who aren't as good in studies have their place. It's not like they go nowhere. Like, tell me, where do you think janitors and all those people are from? Like, do you think that they're geniuses that decided to be janitors? No, they're people down on their luck trying to get money. Like, not every person works the job that they want. Like, if you remove the people who aren't as good, who will take these jobs? No offense to them, of course, but like, genuinely think about it. Janitors and all those people working with low income jobs, minimum income jobs, minimum wage jobs, like, where are they gonna go? Like it's not like the people who are geniuses that can pass the exams who wanna work those jobs, so who's gonna do them then? Robots? Maybe, because sure as hell wanna know when this thing takes place. Like, it's very clear that this doesn't take place in the present. Like, they have a whole hologram and that type of stuff. So, what would I assume? I would assume like the 2050s or the 2070s, something like that. And like, again, like, if you have a problem with resources depleting, first of all, if we're talking about, let's say, crops and stuff like that, then just plant new ones. That's pretty much it. Who's gonna plant them? Are you gonna tell geniuses that can work high-paying jobs to work at farms? I sure as hell know you won't. And they won't say yes. Why would they work a job working on a farm when they can work a job that's gonna give them much more for their money? Like, everyone, no matter how skilled they are at studying, has their place in society. Everyone has a place. So, like, when you remove some people who have their place, who's gonna take their place? It sure as hell won't be the geniuses that can find much better jobs. Like, if this was something that the state did, I sure as hell wanna know who accepted that. Like, genuinely, who said yes? Because the person who did is the stupidest person I have ever seen. I would want to have a talk with them and tell them, you're the stupidest person I've ever seen. You shouldn't be at a place to make a law. Like, if I, a teenager, knows the problems with that law right away, how are full-on adults not able to do that? And mind you, these adults are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Not even people in their 20s who might not have, learned how to act responsibly yet. Because, some people learn at different times. Some learn at their 30s, some learn at their 20s, some learn when they're still teens, stuff like that. Some people just forget to take in the fact that when you change something that already works, you'll have to account for everything. Remember this. Everyone has a place in society. Everyone. From the people who can barely pass a test or not even pass a test, to the people who are valedictorians, straight A's, everyone has a place. And when you try to take out some of the people from a place, you'll have to find other people to replace them. Or else, things are gonna end terribly. Anyways, let's continue. I can't believe I went on a whole rant.
Not that riffraff.
These are human beings we're talking about.
It's too late to change anything.
Now, Mr. Wilson says that it's never too late to change. If it's the right thing to do.
Mr. Wilson, his ideas are dangerous.
I gotta go.
Where are you going?
I have to study. So I'm meeting with my friends.
Is that really necessary?
We're helping each other out. Need all the help I can get. I don't want to take any chances. Do you?
Okay. Well, as long as that girl isn't there. You did break up with that Kelly, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Not seeing her anymore, Dad.
Good.
I gotta go.
Don't be out too late.
Of course, the wealthy have to have a bit of an easier time, don't they? Look, of course, you know what? Of course. What do I have to say, huh? Like, again, the whole taking out students who don't pass exams thing doesn't make sense. Those students have their place. Like, genuinely think about it. Everyone has a place in society, like I said. This idea is gonna take the world into collapse, because tell me, who will work the jobs of keeping the streets clean, of keeping, schools clean, offices clean? Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna be the janitor? Is it gonna be the valedictorian? Is it gonna be the person who has good enough grades to work a higher paying job? No. Who's gonna take that job? It's definitely not gonna be robots, since those don't exist. At least we haven't seen them yet. Like, genuinely, do you see how dumb of an idea that is? And second, if the resources are depleting, first of all, what resources are we talking about? Genuinely, what resources are we talking about here? If we're talking about crops, then farm more. Genuinely farm more. Those can seriously increase easily. Now, of course, they will take a bit of time, but at least try to increase them. Like, reducing the population is not gonna change a damn thing. That's for sure. Anyways, let's continue.
We're doing what we can, and she is fighting. She's not doing well. There is a treatment that may work.
Do it.
But it's experimental and...
Please, just do it.
And it's expensive, Maya.
Just do it. Please.
This will cover things for a bit, but you are gonna need more money.
I'll get it. I promise. Just do what you need to do to keep her alive.
Ooh, hey, money bags. Want a lift?
Hey, you.
Hop in.
So robots do exist. You know what? Might as well check that poster, huh?
You.
Hop in.
Taste the remnants of a fallen world. How long has the world been in this state? How long has it been? Let's just continue.
What's gonna happen to my sisters after I'm gone?
Stop it.
I don't want them to feel the way that I did when my parents died. They were so young when it happened, and I don't think they fully felt it. You know what I mean? I don't want them to feel that way when I'm gone.
You're not going anywhere. I'm not gonna let that happen, okay? We're gonna spend the rest of our lives together.
We have so many happy memories together. Even with all this craziness.
And we'll keep having happy memories.
Let's start with one now.
Study. I didn't realize that human anatomy was going to be on the test.
Come on, Dad.
And the bodyguard told me that you had your hands all over that little tramp.
Hey, stop it!
You lied to me! And that's one thing I will not stand for.
You stand for it where everybody else!
Son, these are trying times. There are no strings for me to pull. The way I see things going for Kelly, she's not gonna make it.
Yes, she is. Okay, you can do something.
Get your head out of the clouds, Carson! You are my son. She's not from the same caliber as us. Now, Barney's daughter, Dana, our two families.
I don't care! I just want to be with Kelly.
Well, you should care. Because after this test is over with, there's nothing you or I can do to save Kelly.
I'm sorry, you're telling me that how is she not in the same caliber? Are we talking about wealth or intelligence? Because like I don't like Dana does not look like she's gonna be intelligent at all. Like she doesn't even care. Even if she has intelligence, she's not nurturing it. So like it's definitely akin to wealth here, huh? Like why not just let him? Do you want your wealth to increase or what exactly? You know what? Why even comment when you don't even know what's happening, huh?
Yo, Jack.
Carson, what's up?
Hey. Not much, just prepping, right? You nervous?
Nah, man. I'm doing all right. Now, at least.
Look, man, I'm glad that you're feeling good about things, but, I don't really see you studying as much as everybody else.
Hey, man. I appreciate you looking out, but I'm gonna be fine.
How are you so sure? What?
Secret weapon.
Secret weapon.
Ask Maya. You guys are tight. I'm sure she'll hook you up.
It's a contact lens. I made it myself. It's linked to full AI with access to information in real time. And there's a neural link, so any answers to any question is literally right in front of your eyes. Or eye.
Wow. You can use one?
If I'm smart enough to come up with something like this, then I'm pretty confident I don't need it.
Neil?
Neil's gonna be okay. Besides...
What year is this? I'm so confused. I'm genuinely so confused. How are you gonna let contact lens pass through? Like, I'm way too confused to comment. Let's just continue.
I only have one left, so...
Why didn't you give one to Kelly?
Carson, I know that you're crazy about her, but she doesn't have the money. Okay, and these things aren't exactly cheap to make. I just can't give tech away like this. Even if she is a good friend. I'm sorry.
Can I take a look?
Sure.
What the heck? I'll buy it.
How do you know they work?
Trust me.
What about you?
I'll be fine. I know this stuff.
It's cheating.
Okay, what's worse? This or what they're doing? Besides, you said it yourself. You know this stuff. You get nervous when you take the test.
Honestly, if I will die if I fail an exam, I'm gonna take cheating any day. Like, I'm not the type of guy who cheats at all. Like, I would see it as a very extreme measure. That's it. But like, if I'm told either you pass the test or you die, I am doing cheating all day every day. Like, I'm cheating all day every day if I'm gonna die if I fail. Like, I'm sure all of you agree with me here. Like, again, most of you probably see cheating as something that should be done, like you're supposed to study for exams, you're supposed to calculate your efforts, stuff like that. But if I'm told that I'm gonna die, I will cheat if it means getting a full grade, if it means staying alive. Anyways, let's continue, huh?
This will just help you. Where's Mr. Wilson?
Mr. Wilson has been, detained.
When will he be back?
Don't worry about Mr. Wilson. Take your seat, son.
When will he be back?
I said take your seat. And unless you want to join him, I suggest you do so now. Understood? Now, the test results will be tallied live. So by the end of this class, we will have our results. You may start now.
If these things are coming like rectangular square screens or whatever, why is paper still being used to save energy, money? Like they keep introducing stuff that makes this story seem more futuristic, more sci-fi, but then this introduces even more questions. Like, so many questions I have for this universe. Like, let's just continue. My mind's gonna explode.
Guards?
What? What's going on? I didn't fail the test.
Neil.
Hey.
Carson! No! Carson!
Hey, Kelly! Hey. Kelly!
Silence! Unless you want to join them.
Kelly! Maya! What happened?
I don't know.
You're so smart, you don't know what happened?
I told you, I don't know.
Is it possible that your little gadget didn't work?
Everyone else did okay.
Maybe you sold me a dud.
I wouldn't do that.
Maybe you didn't know you did.
Look, I'm sorry things happened the way they did, okay? But I have my own problems to worry about, okay?
Sure, it's all about you, isn't it? No, you're right. I'm sorry. It's not like you care about actual people as long as you get your money, right?
I don't care about people. You have no idea what I'm going through.
Okay. So why don't you fill me in?
Fine. You see, after Dad was killed in the war, it was only Mom and I. It was a struggle, but we got by. Dumb fate took my dad early, but dumb fate also made me a genius. But you don't have to be a genius to see that what was going on in our world was totally messed up. I wasn't going to just stand by and let that happen. So I made these contacts and planned on giving them to students for free. Then Mom got sick, never quite recovered. Got worse and wound up in the hospital. And unlike you, we were poor. I didn't have the money to pay for the treatment Mom needed. So I started selling the contacts. I had to. I needed the money. The only reason I did was to make money to save my mom's life. I believe that a person's value shouldn't be determined by a...
Okay, I'll be honest, this is one of those scenarios where Carson is still kind of in the right. When, like, okay, so when her actions might have caused some people to potentially be executed, Carson has the full right to say, I'm sorry, life isn't all about you. Because, like, again, her actions might have led to some of them actually being killed. So for that case, I honestly, I'm completely with Carson when it comes to the life isn't all about you and that type of stuff. When your actions might have consequences that end in people's lives being taken, Yeah, he has the full right to say that. Anyway.
A stupid test score, or their wealth, or status. Everyone deserves the right to live.
You're right. I'm sorry. But I still don't understand how Kelly failed.
I'm afraid I understand better than I'd like to.
What do you mean?
Something's rigged. I don't know what, but Neil's one of the smartest students.
He's almost as smart as you.
And I know the contacts worked, otherwise everyone else would have failed. There's more to this. And we better figure it out before they get executed.
I think I might know where to start. Come on. Concerning Kelly and her relations with my son, it's imperative that under no circumstances she passes the final exam. After her execution, I will wire the school the funds, but only after the scores and the roster of those executions are finalized.
I can't believe this!
Son, what are you doing in my office?
I passed the test, Dad. Yeah. I was looking for one of your cigars to celebrate.
My boy. Congratulations. And as anticipated, Kelly failed. Didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
You're better off without her. Maybe now you can celebrate with Dana. Just think about the future.
Maybe.
Proud of you, son.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, what's with this whole dumb concept of the future? Like, you have everything you could have done, but all you showed was just take systems that we use today, just make it so that instead of the computers, the phones, all of that, just make them a screen that's transparent. Like, I was gonna shut up about this until they showed this. Really? An iPhone just replace everything and make it just look like a transparent sheet of glass? Or you genuinely kidding me? I was willing to say that their concept was creative with the whole everything is a screen, especially when it comes to computers, because you know, those have a lot of technologies in them, until I saw this. What the actual... What the heck is this? A TV could work. A computer could work. But this sure as hell cannot. How are you gonna fit the technology in a sheet of glass? Like, do you not realize that a phone is much more than a sheet of glass? Like, I do not care how futuristic it is. There's no way you're telling me, instead of us getting VR headsets of being the ordinary, we get this. What the actual... Everything looks futuristic until this. This just looks outlandish and stupid. Or I might be biased. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, what the...
Scared me. I thought you were the headmaster.
Did you find anything?
No, not yet. I need a few more minutes to hack into the system. Just keep an eye out, make sure no one comes in.
Here you go. These are the real test scores. Neil and Kelly both passed. But these two dolts didn't.
But they said they did.
Yeah, because they switched their scores with Neil and Kelly.
What's that?
Neil Baxter has been snooping around asking a lot of questions about the validity of these tests and has threatened to go to the press. I agree that he should be silenced, and failing him despite his score seems to be the remedy to this particular problem.
We should get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
What do you two think you're doing?
Maya. Run!
Stop her!
It's time to go home. Dad.
Let's, just forget this ever happened, shall we? Take her away!
Carson. Carson.
As you know, the wildly popular new Criterion Senate mandate is helping our state blaze a glorious trail into the future, with our bright young minds leading the way. So, as of today, per the mandate, those students who fail to pass their exams will be executed in precisely 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, hey.
What is going on?
Headmaster, you're under arrest. Your compliance is appreciated but not necessary.
We interrupt this broadcast to report that shocking evidence has just surfaced about wealthy and influential parents bribing school officials to influence who passed and who failed the new mandate's exams. In light of this, emergency legislation has just been passed to end the mandate of passing standardized tests and the execution of those who failed.
What? First of all, what does he have the governor have the power? Why does he have, as the governor, have the power to do that in the first place? Because, like, first of all, did the U.S.'s system of, like, having... Okay. Did the U.S.'s system of laws change in this future or something? Because, like, even if it's a state law, not even a law for the whole country, I am sure there has to be a board of members who agrees. The person who, like, controls the state can just introduce any law that they want without the board agreeing. Like, isn't that how it works for the states as well? Or, like, for, like, the individual state as well? Or does the governor or mayor or whatever the title is just do what they want? Can they just do what they want? Like, genuinely think about it for a minute. How does this work? How was this approved? Huh? How? Anyway.
Boy, am I glad to see you.
My boy. Gosh, you were it. Brooke Masterson?
Ah, Neil Baxter. We finally meet face to face. That was quite a story you broke, Neil.
Thank you.
Look, I think you have an amazing future ahead of you. How would you like to help me with the rest of the story?
Absolutely.
Great.
How could you do this to me? I'm your father.
It's too late to change anything.
So you choose a poor girl over your own father?
It doesn't matter if she's rich or poor, her life still has value. And I plan on adding to it.
Again, like, I have to ask. You're saying you're choosing a poor girl over your own father? Didn't you try to take out your own son? Didn't you try to execute your own son? You agreed to your own son being executed. You have no right to say you choose me over a poor girl. Honestly, he has the right to when you quite literally decided to get your own son executed. A father should never agree to having his own son executed if he just agreed to it normally. Heck, he might have even mandated it himself. Like, he has no right to question what his son does at this point. Anyway, let's continue.
Thanks to your mandate of assets of the incarcerated going to the eldest family member, which in our case is me, I plan on making Kelly's life a little more comfortable from here on out. Enjoy the next 30 years in prison.
Carson, come back here. Carson, come back here!
Oh boy, that man probably did a lot more. I'm surprised he only got 30 years. Because genuinely think about it. He introduced a law that essentially got students to be killed. Students who are mostly minors. So wouldn't that be considered child murder? Because like in the face of the law, you are considered a child until you become an adult. It isn't like how it works in society where there are kids, teens, and then adults. No, in the face of the law, you are considered a child until you become an adult. So, like, in that case, shouldn't he be charged for child murder? Because, like, okay, this of course will have to take into account how long the law has been into effect. Because if it's been in effect for a bit, then yeah, that guy would probably be charged with child murder because he mandated it. But he probably wasn't charged for child murder since it seems like the law didn't take place until quite recently because they wouldn't have had such a reaction to it that early if they didn't. So they probably stopped the law pretty early before any executions actually happened because I'm telling you, if any executions had actually happened, that guy would either get the, you know what? Why do I keep forgetting these things at the important times? He would either get killed for it, or he would get life in prison. Like, either one or the other, because guess what? Child murder puts you either behind bars or gives you the death sentence, buddy. So he probably didn't make the law probably didn't last long enough for there to be child murder involved, huh? Anyways, let's continue.
Carson, hey!
How are you feeling? Thank you so much. I'll find a way to cover all the costs.
It's already been covered. And we will be releasing your mom in a few days.
What? Wait, who paid the bill?
You won't believe how much being a reporter pays. Brooke got a promotion thanks to my story. And I have her job now. And, well, you won't have to worry about medical bills anymore.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's be honest here. This subverted my expectations quite a lot. This probably subverted all of our expectations because this, I don't know if I should call it romance. It probably will turn into a romance because of, you know, the flowers and all that. Because why would he want to help her so bad? Like, okay, I'm assuming here, but like, you know what I mean. Like, this came out of nowhere. This is the type of version I think I expect. Like, we probably all expected Carson to have been the one who paid. It's pretty obvious. He's rich, and she helped him. So, like, basically everyone expected it, huh? Anyways, might as well get to the end screen. Yep. But, like, I have a simple question for all this. Dhar Mann, what were you thinking? Because, like, the problem is that when you have such a drastic change, you have to explain it. Like, genuinely, what? Like, okay, so first of all, it's very clear when you think about it that this law is more evil and more stupid than you think. Because, like, if you think about it, this law does not make any sense, and it shouldn't have passed. Because if we think about it, like, doesn't Congress pass the law for like all of the states shouldn't they have a say on whether a law gets passed or not? Shouldn't they have a say? Because, like, they act like the governor is the only one who makes the decisions here. That if he says a law is passed, then a law is passed. When first of all, they make it sound like the law was for a state rather than a country. You know what I mean? They keep saying the state's laws rather than the country's laws. And even if it was the country, then they're in an even worse position. Because the governor or the president or whatever the position is called does not have exactly a say in this. Or more accurately, like, he can propose laws, of course, but he can't just put them into effect. He has to go to Congress and other board members to be able to put it into effect. Laws aren't put into effect just like that. Like, oh boy. Like, this makes a lot less sense than you think. This would probably not happen in real life, since Congress would see it as unconstitutional. Or, I don't know if that's exactly how I would call it, but if that's exactly how it's called. But I am sure that Congress would have seen it as constitutional. I mean, killing members of the country, of the newer generation, mind you. Like, no, just straight up no. And if they genuinely thought it was a good idea, then that's a bad idea. Because, like, okay, let's say you kill the students that fail. Forget the bribing, forget the biases, forget all that. Let's focus just on the idea itself, on how stupid it is. Trust me, it won't take long. I'm not gonna go on to a whole rant. So, like, genuinely think about it for a minute. If the students who fail get killed, then we'll only be left with the clever students and overall geniuses, right? Well, who's gonna work on the farms? Who's gonna work in the oil rigs? Who will the janitors be? Because, like, those people are the people who sadly failed and couldn't get into better positions. It's not like janitors, and all of those janitors, cashiers, and all of those people work there willingly. They work there either to earn extra cash or because they couldn't find a better position. Most of them wouldn't want that as their full-on job for life. So if you leave the world with only geniuses and all that, who's gonna work those jobs? And it doesn't even seem like, okay, we saw one poster, but, like, we haven't seen any robots, like, at all. Like, one poster showed it, but, like, it feels like more of a poster of what the future world will look like, rather than what the world currently looks like. So, like, this plan is honestly stupid in general. Forget the evil stuff. This plan is stupid. Whoever agreed to it, because I sure as hell know that the governor is not the only one who decides. Like, there must be a board of members or something that decides with him, you know what I mean? And, yeah, I don't know if I should call this clickbait or not, because, like, the law existed in the video, yes, but no student got executed. Like, yeah, students would get executed if they failed, but none really, like, do I call this clickbait or not? Because this, like, falls in the gray area, where I don't know if this should be considered clickbait or not, honestly. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. On the left is my most recent video, on the right is a video that YouTube recommends, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.